Hello everyone. Today we are diving into one of the most baffling and haunting mysteries of modern times. A story that shook the entire world, sparked endless theories, and remains unsolved to this very day. The vanishing of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, more commonly known as MH370, is not just an aviation disaster. It is a riddle that continues to haunt investigators, families, and ordinary people who still ask, how does a massive plane carrying 239 souls simply disappear without a trace in the age of satellites, radar, and advanced communication systems? The disappearance of MH370 has become one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in human history. And today, we will explore the strange timeline, the unanswered questions, and the disturbing theories that surround this ghost flight. It was March 8, 2014, when Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 12:41 a.m., heading toward Beijing. On board were 227 passengers and 12 crew members, representing 14 different nationalities. It was supposed to be a routine overnight flight, lasting around 6 hours. The Boeing 777 was a reliable aircraft with one of the best safety records in aviation. Everything seemed normal in the beginning. The plane climbed smoothly, communications were clear, and the weather was fine. At 1:19 a.m., the pilot made his last known communication with air traffic control, calmly saying, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Those words would be the last ever heard from MH370. Just minutes later, at 1:21 a.m., the plane's transponder, which communicates with air traffic controllers, was suddenly switched off. From that moment on, MH370 vanished from civilian radar. What was supposed to be a straightforward flight turned into one of the greatest mysteries of the 21st century. Authorities were immediately puzzled. Planes simply don't vanish. Every flight is tracked, monitored, and recorded. Yet MH370 slipped away into the dark skies, almost like it had been swallowed whole by some invisible force. But the story only gets stranger. Military radar later revealed that instead of continuing toward Beijing, MH370 had made a sharp turn westward. It then continued flying across the Malaysian peninsula and out over the Andaman Sea. Investigators believe the plane may have flown for nearly 7 more hours after losing contact, traveling deep into the southern Indian Ocean. But why? Who was in control of the plane during those final hours? And what happened to the people on board? Theories about MH370's disappearance range from technical failures to elaborate hijacking scenarios, and even darker possibilities. Some experts believe a catastrophic mechanical failure may have knocked out the plane's systems, leaving it flying on autopilot until it eventually ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. But if this was just a technical issue, why did the plane deliberately turn off its communication systems? Why did it change course so dramatically? Others point the finger at the pilots. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, the 53-year-old pilot in command, was a highly experienced aviator with over 18,000 flying hours. Investigators discovered a strange flight simulation program on his home computer, where he had practiced flying routes deep into the southern Indian Ocean, the same area where MH370 is believed to have ended up. Was this mere coincidence? Or was it a chilling clue? Could the disappearance have been a carefully planned suicide mission? Yet those who knew the captain described him as kind, dedicated, and professional. Nothing in his personal life suggested he would endanger the lives of 238 others. Then there is the possibility of hijacking. Could terrorists or rogue passengers have taken control of the plane? In the early days, investigators examined 2 Iranian passengers traveling with stolen passports, but they turn out to be asylum seekers, not terrorists. Still, some believe the plane was seized and flown to a remote location, hidden away in secrecy. But where? The world is heavily monitored by radar, satellites, and intelligence agencies. Hiding a Boeing 777 seems almost impossible. One of the most disturbing theories suggests that the plane's crew and passengers may have lost consciousness due to a sudden loss of cabin pressure, a so-called ghost flight. In such a scenario, Everyone on board would have slowly passed out from lack of oxygen, while the plane continued flying on autopilot until fuel exhaustion brought it down. This theory explains why no distress call was made, but it still doesn't explain the deliberate turn-off course. Who or what was guiding the plane in those critical minutes before everyone supposedly lost consciousness? Over the years, fragments of wreckage believed to be from MH370 have washed ashore on islands in the Indian Ocean and along the east coast of Africa. These pieces confirm that the plane likely did crash into the ocean. Yet the main wreckage, along with the black box recorders that could reveal the final moments, has never been found. Billions of dollars were spent on the most extensive search in aviation history, scouring thousands of miles of ocean floor. And still, nothing. It's as if the ocean itself swallowed MH370 whole and refused to give back its secrets. The families of the passengers have lived in unbearable torment. With no bodies recovered and no wreckage to properly examine, closure has remained out of reach. Some still cling to hope that their loved ones may have survived somehow, somewhere. Others demand answers, believing that authorities are hiding the truth. Did governments know more than they admitted? Was there classified information about the plane's final flight path? Could the disappearance be linked to espionage, military secrets, or an intentional cover-up? These questions continue to haunt the mystery. What makes the disappearance of MH370 so haunting is the combination of technology and uncertainty. In our modern world, where smartphones can track our every move and satellites can read license plates from space, how can a giant passenger plane vanish without explanation? The vanishing of MH370 challenges our belief in technology, safety, and control. It reminds us that even with all our advancements, there are still mysteries that slip through the cracks. As time passes, the chances of solving the mystery grow slimmer. The ocean is vast and unforgiving, capable of hiding secrets forever. Yet the story of MH370 continues to live on in documentaries, books, and investigations as one of the most unsettling puzzles of our time. Each new piece of information only deepens the mystery rather than solving it. And so, the world is left to wonder, was it human error, a deliberate act, or something stranger still? Until the day the wreckage and black boxes are found, MH370 will remain not just an aviation tragedy, but a chilling modern legend. A ghost flight that disappeared into the night, carrying 239 souls into an eternal mystery. The mystery of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is more than a story of aviation. It is a story of human loss, unanswered questions, and the uncomfortable truth that sometimes, even in our high-tech world, things can simply vanish. Perhaps that is why this mystery grips us so tightly. Because if a plane can disappear without a trace, then what else might be lurking beyond our understanding?